Hello, my name is Hunter Stubbs, and this is my crisis plan for the fire that happened at EA Sports. How the incident occurred. The incident started with a fire caused by faulty wiring and improper use of hardware cabinets. As you see the hardware cabinets below, they are all properly installed and all evenly spaced out. The ones that caught on fire in our warehouse were not evenly spaced out, all right on top of each other, and a lot of the wires overlapped and intercrossed and intersected. This is what ultimately caused the fire and kept has now put us out of business. The zero oxygen safety feature was also falsely installed and was never tested. The zero oxygen room is supposed to be able to keep zero oxygen in the room, which means if a lighter is even lit, it will go out because fire cannot continue to go without oxygen. Our feature that we had was not installed, and going back and looking at records, it was never tested, which makes that room completely unsafe and unuseful for the type of equipment that we had in that room. Damages. The damages that occurred were very harmful to not only our employees but to our fans alike. We have 25 injured and 2 deaths. We have the loss of one of the largest databases, and the building can be repaired but will cost millions of dollars. Rebuilding the data that we have will cost millions, but not only will never be able to give back the lives that were lost during this tragedy. The impact on our business. The loss of reputation is huge. EA is always known for putting out the biggest and best games known to man. So the loss of reputation really hurts that we didn't take that kind of care in our equipment. So why should we take the care to make better games? Jobs were lost for over 15,000 employees due to the fire. The data retrieval is going to be very extensive. Going back and repairing all of the data cabinets and finding what was lost and what we had lost is going to cost a lot of money, and it is going to be very hard to overcome. We also have a loss of sales. Our sales are going to plummet because people are not going to want to buy EA Sports games or have anything to do with EA Sports because of the lack of responsibility that we showed during this crisis. I believe our spokesperson should be our head of our business, our CEO, Andrew Wilson, who is in charge of all of EA Sports and all divisions of EA Sports. I also think our COO and CFO, Blake Jorgensen, should have something to do with this campaign. The reason why I chose Blake is because being the CFO, he knows the numbers, he knows how much it costs, he will know exactly how much we lost in the business, how much money it will cost to retrieve all data, and what it will take to rebuild our sales. Having those two faces out in the public will be really huge, and being able to have those two faces will show the public that we do care about our products and we are willing to make a difference in our communities. Now, who is our audience? The gaming community. The gaming community is huge. They all back EA Sports. A lot of the big streamers play EA Sports games. It really makes a difference if we can communicate with the gaming community. The parents of kids that play our games. The reason why I say the parents is because most of our games are rated E for everyone, which means everyone should be able to play it. Everyone should be able to enjoy it on any level. They're made for everybody. So why isn't our company going to target everyone? We also need to target our vendors and our support team. Our vendors help sell our games and help get our information out there, but also our support team. We damaged our employees. We put our employees at risk. And during a pandemic, it's really hard to go out and try to find a job, especially in the gaming community, because they're trying to keep such small tabs and small rooms on everything. So for us, that is a really big deal that we really need to regain our trust with our employees and our vendors so that way our sales doesn't plummet and we become obsolete in the sporting industry. The message we need to deliver. We need to deliver how EA was unaware of safety issues on hand until after the incident occurred. We also need to be able to we need to tell facts about what happened and how we are at fault. We are at fault because we did not know these things before they happened. So that makes it EA's fault. We have to be able to take full responsibility regardless of any circumstances that comes out. We need to explain to employees our future plans going forward and how their jobs are safe. Once we're able to rebuild the part of the facility that caught on fire, we will be able to put people back in and be able to go straight back to work. We need to be able to explain how it's safe. We need to show them that it's safe in these oxidated rooms and how our cabinets are now properly installed and everything in that nature. We also need to plans going forward to prevent this at our other buildings. We need to do extensive tests and research at our other facilities to make sure that everything is running properly and everything is tested now. We don't want another incident down the road at another facility like we have now, because we would be in a lot of financial trouble if it happened again. The steps we need to take to deliver our message: we need to go on a media tour to all major networks, CNN, NBC, CBS, ESPN. Get the most information out there to the most amount of people as we can, so they know that we know the truth and we are at fault. We need to publish a news release to help get our story out there, telling what we found and our side of the story from our words, so that way people know this comes directly from EA Sports itself. We also need to put out updates on games so that way our users know how we continue to try to resolve these issues. We did the same thing for the Black Lives Matter movement. We put out updates all over all of our games and all of our platforms, so that way all users knew exactly what was going on, that we support the Black Lives Matter movement. We did the same things with the shooting at the Madden tournament down in Jacksonville, Florida. I think we should also do this to not only put out a news story for ourselves, but to also show our EA community that is playing our games, that they see it, they know that we're at fault, that know that we're doing our best I can, they know we're going to do our best from here on out and do better. So I feel like that makes a big difference going forward. In conclusion, we have to be able to save some of our reputation. We're going to lose some, but we will eventually gain it back with better video games, better equipment that we have in our studios, so we'll be able to make better games for our community. They will see that, they will respect it, but at the same time, they will always think about the lives that were lost and the company's money that was lost that it took to get a better game. So some of our reputation will be lost, but I don't believe all of it. We have to get back on our feet and finding ways to be better, such as, like I said, replacing our old equipment with better equipment, adding better games, being more in tune with our community, being more in tune with our employees, give them something better to look forward to when they come to work. We have to help out our 15,000 employees and find a way for them to be compensated or for them to work from home. Some will want to work from home. Some might want a lawsuit. Some might want some compensation. We have a way that we can make that happen. Looking at our financial records, we are able to compensate them versus take all 15,000 to court for a lawsuit for faulty work placing. That would be the best deal versus spending a lot of money on court fees, the compensations themselves, and so on and so forth. And then our last and our final thought that we need to continue to do is we need to continue to make great games so people can continue to have fun. We need to continue to move on and live our lives while also dealing with this crisis, but also at the same time put this at the forefront and put the games on the back burner, because life is not a game that can be played with. Thank you for listening. Are there any questions?